Bellissimo!
Thank you.
Bellissimo!
Thank you.
Bellissimo!
Thank you.
Hey! Ooh! Boo! 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 Oi, shut the fuck up! Hey! Yeah, here we are. Myself and Liam. Before anyone asks any questions about that post, before when I said, "Oh, I'm not going to do shit," some shit happened over the week, and I thought, I'm not taking shots at Jersey Boy. I'm not doing a Jersey Boy and saying, "Oh, I'm coming back now." I'm not. Oh, I'm coming back now. I'm not. Genuinely, something happened. Like the thing is with me, like it's an actual situation that's going on. It's not like I'm motivated to do YouTube, then I'm not motivated. Like there is an actual bad situation going on in my life. But over this week, I sort of thought to myself, you know what? At the end of the day, I might as well, like, still do what I enjoy instead of like, I feel like it, I might as well just do what I enjoy. At the end of the day, I need to keep. Well, actually, no, I need to keep doing what I enjoy instead of just being like, no, I'm going to take a break. So, yeah, here I am back again, and the man, the myth, the legend is here too, Mr. Liam.
I love it.
It's been nearly a month since you've been on the last one, which
Was
was
the last one the Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy one.
Oh, the Dark Knight trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, that was a dope one.
Yeah.
That went on for like forever. That was like an
That
hour and a
is,
half
yeah.
of just chatting about Batman, but it was pretty
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can tell by the title, today we are talking about Andor. When I first saw the trailer for this, I had no clue what the hell it was about. I thought, oh, this seems new, this seems interesting. But obviously, what the hell's George? Andor D's nuts. It should have been Andy's nuts, not Andor D's nuts. But yeah. So when I first saw this trailer, I was like, this is something new. This is interesting. I didn't know. I couldn't even remember who the hell Andor was. To be honest, I had no clue. But then I realised, oh shit, he was a secondary character in Rogue One, second to Jin, who was not really that interesting in Rogue One. Although I like Rogue One, I didn't find most characters interesting. All he really did was shoot that bloke at the start, and that was that really. Which sort of made that was the only thing that really made his character interesting, that he shot someone. Everything else, he was just sort of like a bit of he was just there along for the ride. And I guess at the end, with them sacrificing themselves and him being like, Jin, you made your father so proud, well done. No, your father would be proud, Jin, well done. And then the Death Star the Death Star explosion kills them. And that Krennic geezer dies via Death Star to the face, which is probably the best death in cinema history. When he's looking up and he's like, and then the Death Star. The Grand Moff Tarkin just doesn't give a crap about him. He's just like, fire when ready. But he's quite funny how he stole Jin's dad's idea. Well, he took credit for Jin's dad's idea, and then Grand Moff Tarkin took credit for Krennic's idea. And he's, firing the laser at him. So that's pretty ironic and funny. George put the Japan versus Spain match insane. Well, to be Jin, what is normally second to what I've had?
I don't know
George,
what the
you
hell
don't
he's
drink.
on about.
Yeah, George, you never drink any. If you're talking about gin, Gin, you don't drink anything. You have the air particles of a strongbow, and then you're off your head and running around and smashing tables. I don't know what that means, George. Unless this is some sort of bloody double bluff where he's pretending to be drunk by spelling gin wrong and not making any sense. Drunk off apple juice. So, yeah. But anyway, Andor. So the first, I remember because we was at Ben's house and I did that jokey interview thing to you where I was like sticking a microphone in your face, and you were like, wasn't really that good, thank you. And then Ben was like, no. Ben was doing a poo going, it was okay. The first 3 episodes were not that bad.
I thought he agreed with me.
No. Because I think he did a bit, but like I said, so it's shit then, and Ben was like, no, it's not. It's just very slow paced. I think so anyway. I watched that video back, and I was thinking, oh god, this ain't going to be good. But I watched the first 2 episodes. I watched the first 3 episodes twice actually. The first time I couldn't really concentrate on it very well. I felt a bit out of it. The second time, I watched them all and paid more attention, and I thought as soon as you know, the guy showed up, the tour guy with the Swedish accent, you know, why can't I
Yeah.
remember his name?
Yeah,
I'm so
Stellan
annoyed.
Skarsgård. Yeah,
Yeah, why I don't get why I can't remember his name.
he's called. His character's called Luthen.
Cheers. So Luthen rolls up and he knows absolutely everything about Andor. That's when it kicked off for me. That's when I thought, damn, this show is absolute. This has really got me hooked. But yeah, I guess we might as well take it from the top. The first episode's Andor going after his sister, and then these 2 Imperial guards, just 2 are looking at him, and they're sort of going back and forth, and then they try and mug him. He gets them both killed, which is cool. I thought, damn, well, he headbutts the one, and the one die. I'm assuming like a bleed on the brain or something, or he just the hit just killed him, and then the other guy's like, please, no, we'll say it's an accident. And Andor just goes, and I thought, what a gangster, that's really cool. Well, they deserved it. They were pricks.
Yeah, don't usually get that, but yeah, it's different. Yeah.
Then Andor's on the run. There's that little robot bloke. What's his name? B, and his mom Marva, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm back." He has some shady deals with that bloody salesman at the junkyard with the 2 dogs, and he's like, "I can't keep doing shit for you." And his gaffer keeps saying, "Get over here!" And having a go at him. Cassian Andor himself, we see he owes money to some bloke as well, and we're like, okay, so he's got a bit of a wild lifestyle going all over the galaxy. He ain't like he's in Rogue One. He's like, oh man, he's just out for himself, which is a lot more interesting than just the generic typical superheroes who are like, oh, look at me, I'm fighting for the rebels, yippee. I mean, it would have been so boring, because the cool thing I like about Andor, and I'm skipping to the end here, but I like how he doesn't get interested in the rebel cause right until the end. It takes it all the way till the end for him to be like, yeah, you know what, I want to join this. And you know what's even more cool? At the end, when he just rolls up to Luthen and he's like, mate, you're going to shoot me or take me on, do whatever the fuck you want. And he's like, okay. But obviously, we know Luthen clearly takes him on, because otherwise he wouldn't have got blown up in.
I know, yeah. It's a cool end to the finale, but like most people will know that. Well, it's not really. It's meant to be a cliffhanger, but yeah, most people will know the outcome. So it's like it doesn't work quite as well as it could have, but
it doesn't get dragged out, does it? We don't see Luthen like pointing the gun at him and be like, "What should I do? What should I do? Oh no!" And then he just sort of looks at him and he's like, okay, which is cool. But yeah, what else happens in the first episode? I suppose we get the flashbacks of him being a tribal person on Kenari. We see the Empire fucking shit up for people. We see how Marva and Clem rescue him, which is really cool. Clem's obviously a bit hesitant at first. He's like, bro, he's like, this is a kid. This is a kid, Marva. What are you doing? And then she's like, no, we're taking him. And that cinematography when he's flying away was absolutely beautiful at the end of episode 3, when like he's on the speeder bike and then we see him flying off with Marva and Clem. That was chef's kiss. I love the cinematography. I like how this is even shown in the first 3 episodes. All the practical sets of the planet it's set on. There's hardly any CG. It all feels real. And also it's a new planet, which I like as well. It's a bit similar to Tatooine, but like a cold version, and sort of like more populated and a lot more going on. And it's sort of, and also I like how it's not way more populated, but like it's more of a community. It feels like things are more together. While on Tatooine, as Obi-Wan says, you'll never find more of a hive of scum and villainy. Hello there. So that's really cool. What are your thoughts on everything then so far?
Well, I mean, with episode 1, for example, it's sort of kind of mixed. I mean, yeah, it has some decent stuff in, like with how it started and how it was shot, and Andor walking across that bridge with the sort of electronic soundtrack and whatever. But yeah, it was cool to sort of just sort of see Andor as a different person. Like he's a different person at this point, and he's pretty ruthless, really. You know, and he just killed those two security guards, which was interesting, but it was a refreshing change. Some interesting stuff, and I mean overall, you know, with the first 3 episodes, you know, I did, like I say, I did find it to be slow and boring, even though there are a few highlights here and there, and of course, as it is throughout the show, the cinematography, the music, and the acting are all, you know, they're all top notch. But yeah, I just found the first 3 episodes to be mostly slow and a bit, you know, a bit dull and uninteresting. Like I say, there are a few interesting bits here and there with certain characters. Like, I mean, I didn't really find Luthen as interesting in those first 3 episodes, but of course you get introduced to Cyril as well, and then of course he's working with those men, isn't he? All that task force on the planet, and you know, they end up well, they're just not very good, are they? And Andor escapes, and so yeah.
I mean, that villain who you know, Cyril Khan, I like his pathetic take on a villain. He's not he's not intimidating and badass like Moff Gideon. He's just some Jobsworth who's like, they killed 2 Imperial employees. I can't believe it. They killed 2 Imperial employees. And then the thing is, he's such a Jobsworth that I think, right, this is what I think deep down. I think he's fucking bored of doing the day-to-day shit, and he feels pathetic just being a guard, so he wants to add some sort of excitement and get some sort of glory going. Because if he was truly a Jobsworth, he would have just done what the gaffer said, who was like, no, you can't do this. But instead, he lets, you know, the little fat Scottish guy egg him on and be like, let's kill these bastards! And then all the other soldiers are like, hey! And then Cyril Khan is just like, you know, then... But he's an all right threat because he's pathetic, but he's determined. You know, you think, all right, yeah, he's going to do his best to get the job done, even if he's a bit shit at the job. But I like him as a pathetic daft villain. I like him. I like him bloody simping for what's her face, the horrible blonde lady.
Daedra.
Yeah, Daedra. I love that how he's like, oh, my life was so pathetic, and I love you.
Yeah. Some really awkward stuff there. Awkward
God's
tension.
sake, there's nothing. I'm sure in real life she's a cool person, but that character, her personality is so ugly. Like, why would he? I don't know. But they are bad people. They work for the ISB, don't they? So I suppose that bad toxicness draws bad toxicness, I guess. But she wasn't interested in him at all. She was like, mate, fuck off.
Yeah.
I like all the back and forth between her and the tall bloke with the black hair. You know, the bloke who takes the job, who does things more by protocol, and he's like, well, what are you doing? I can't believe you're doing this. Blah 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 blah.
And the one she has like a bit of a rivalry.
Yeah,
with
the work rivalry. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was all right. He was in the in-betweeners, and he had a go at Jay and Neil for thinking that he's a drug dealer, even though he's a drug dealer in the show.
Yeah, I thought he looked familiar, but I can't remember his name. I've definitely seen him before.
Yeah, he did a solid part. He was solid in it. The bloke who played the guy with the grey long hair, he was really good in it as well. I'm trying to find his name.
Yeah.
Where is he? Oh, I can't find him.
Oh, his character's called... Oh, what's his character called? What's he called? Like Pardigast or something? I don't know. Some unusual name like that.
Nah. But yeah, I was gonna say, you know, after fuck's sake, I was trying to find the bloody Andy Serkis speech. That was legendary when he was like, they don't have, they haven't got enough guards for us all, and we need to take advantage before they figure that out. I know it wasn't those
Mm.
exact words, but like, man,
Yeah.
it was such a legendary speech. I had goosebumps. I was like, geez, man,
Mm.
absolutely legendary. Andy
Yeah.
Serkis was great in it, man.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. His
but
character was
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
we'll get to him in a bit though. We might as well just bounce on to the next part of it, which is they fly off, etc., etc. And then Luthen's like, "I'm buying you security" or whatever to the blonde lady. Um, she plays wife in Game of Thrones. This really small blonde lady.
Oh, she's in that, is she? Okay. I don't think
Yeah,
I'd seen her before. Don't think.
yeah. She's
Well,
not
she sort of
really
looks
the.
familiar.
She's okay in Game of Thrones. She just sort of plays a character who antagonises a character that you're rooting for, but she's not really the best antagonist. She's just sort of she's just more annoying than anything really.
Mm.
Um, but I guess she played the part okay. Um, one thing actually I want to say really quick about the episode 3. I like the way they like. There's just 14 guards. It's not a big battle, and the 14 guards actually do damage. They shoot Bix's Scottish boyfriend after he
Oh,
ratted out
yeah.
the door.
There's a
Uh,
little triangle there, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah.
they shoot him. They arrest Bix. She just doesn't beat the shit out of all of them and win. And there's a bit of cool action in there as well. I like how Andor doesn't want to shoot Cyril Carney, that would have saved him time and helped him get away. And Cyril doesn't give a shit that Andor saved him. You'd think as how he's such a geeky Jobsworth, he'd be like, "Oh shit, he didn't actually kill me," but instead he's just like, "After him, after him." So yeah.
Mm.
And then obviously in episode 4, small Scottish man and Jobsworth Cyril Khan get sacked. So yeah,
Yeah.
they get sacked from their jobs.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, yeah, I did. I wish we did see more of the little Scottish bloke because Alex Ferns, that's his name. There we go, Sergeant Linus. Oh, he doesn't come with the rest of the name, but yeah, Alex Ferns. I wish we'd see more of him in the show. He was really funny. I like how he's really trying to egg on Cyril Khan. But anyway, Andor lands down with the rebel people. I like how it's just a small operation. In certain bits of media, in certain shows and films, they just get to the heist or whatever straight away. They'd just be like, okay, we've just got to get in there and steal the Imperial credits. But instead we have build up, we have the training, we have all these people with backstories. We have that young bloke, I'm just gonna get his name up, the name of the actor. Alex. Here we go. Karis Nemec. That's his character's name. We have him in there being like, "Oh yes, freedom, freedom," and all this cool stuff. And he's like, "The Empire are so unnatural, and we shall beat them, and there shall be freedom, and etc." I'm not knocking him. He had some brilliant bits in there. I really liked his dialogue and what he was saying, but yeah, I can't really remember him that well. I can't remember the specific words, but he did a good job. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
he
had
was the
that,
poet, wasn't he? I think, or whatever.
yeah.
Or he was a bit of a poet.
You had Arville Skeen, who is like, "Oh, my brother got killed on the farm," but in reality, he didn't have a brother. He was just
Yeah.
making all that
Oh, yeah.
bollocks.
The end of that, yeah, that was something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty like, whoa.
Mm.
Uh, um, we had the bloke who used to be a stormtrooper,
Mm.
um,
Mm.
dude with a mustache. I can't pronounce either. I can't pronounce his real name, and he's Barcona. So it says his surname's Barcona in the show, and his real name, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Gershwin Estash Jr. Gerwin Estash Jr. I don't know if I pronounced that right or wrong. But yeah, Barcona. We've got Sinterkaz, and we've got Lieutenant Gorn. So I liked how Barcona was what's it called? How he was, like he used to be a stormtrooper. And I like how Lieutenant Gorn, he's like, well, he's still working for the Imperials, but they fucked him over because didn't he have a wife on a farm, and then they fucked him over, and he was like pissed off. Grogu third wheel, all these made up names. What? Yeah, new headset, Mr. Liam.
Oh yes, thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
We might as well quickly go through bloody George's crap.
Just showing it off.
Gene and Gina, okay. That's where VR James Batman began. You guys should look. I'm not looking in the group chat, George. Every time you said group chat, check chat, it's just been irrelevant bollocks or hentai or just basically it's been seconds of my life, which I'm never going to get back. It's been wasted time. There's some really cute Japanese women in the football crowd, okay? Yes, Japan win and are through to the knockout, okay? Oh well, that'll be a bit better for us. I'm pretty surprised I bloody lost George. That's quite shocking. Yeah, we looked at this. George's bizarre spam. George's check chat. Oh, it's just porn. There we go. We heard it from the horse's mouth. Okay, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron, for confirming
Really
that.
impressed by me. Save GC for a change. Oh wait, you put porn in there. What? I don't know. I'm not checking the chat. I'm guessing.
Oh, that took a turn.
I mean, if it's porn Aaron's put in there, I might be like, okay, it'll probably be something decent. It'll probably be a big fat ass. Thank you, but big fat curvy ass. But it'll probably be if it's George's, it'll be
another development.
Oh, hold on, the plot thickens. It's what I have to look at this now then because Aaron and Ben are men of culture. George is a bloody degenerate slob.
Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry. That was too far. That was too far.
Oh my god. What is that?
Wait, what's happened?
I'm just looking at the video.
Hold on, here we go. Disney
Okay,
taking a bizarre tongue. So.
Oh my god.
Oh, for goodness! Oh, why? Oh, goodness! Okay, I mean,
why is it got to be? What is it with those two characters in particular? Like, if it's even, I don't know.
Is that meant to be Padme or? Oh, it's Leia, isn't it?
No, yeah, I was going to say.
Oh,
reason.
for
I don't
God's
know why they
sake.
do that. It's like that's even weirder.
I always picture it as Padme though, so it's all right. Ben put some of the shit your father has. Oh, I hope that's not true. That meme, bloody hell. I'll put a laughing face on it still, nonetheless.
What?
I'm not going to say who sent this meme, but I received a meme saying Liam when the
That me.
Oh, it says Liam when the wine is in a medium glass. Oh no, I accidentally spat on the computer. Oh, Liam. And it's that video that we just watched. What do you think, Liam? Good meme. 10 out of 10 meme.
Oh god, that video.
Yeah, it's just Liam when the glass.
No. 1 out of 10.
What? Come on. I think that's an 8 out of 10 meme personally. Oh, police him.
Bet that was Aaron. Bet it was Aaron.
Aaron laughing his arse off. Bizarreness. George. Oh, what are you on about? Well, it's popular with bloody slob. Well, no, that's a compliment calling people who enjoy that crap. Mind you, it's not really the dad and daughter, is it? It's just like bloody actors pretending, but it's still disgusting. At least I hope it's just actors pretending. Impromptu meme review here.
Yeah, this derailed, yeah.
Oh. Oh. I mean, you're not wrong. I nearly said thankfully you're not wrong. Sadly, you're not wrong. Yeah, in George's animes, it's sadly popular, which is very depressing.
Ooh.
But let's just get back to the wager at hand because I don't think I can take much more of this.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Ooh.
Oof. All right, so yeah, so they've all got their own separate motivations, which is really cool. Away from the lady with the black hair together, because
Oh,
she seems really bothered about her, like
yeah,
more than just
the woman with the blonde hair and the Asian woman.
yeah,
I think so, yeah, because it's implied, isn't it? And I think it's implied later on as well.
yeah, because she seems next level concerned on the mission, like
Yeah,
about doing it, which
yeah.
I find really cool. To be honest, oh dear, George, no, that's brother and sister. Anyway, I liked how there was a lot of training for the mission. There was a lot of practicing. The dude with the mustache took it deadly seriously. He was like, "You've got to all march. Fuck you guys. You got to fucking march properly." And we had the tribal people coming in and being pissed off at the Imperials, which was cool. We had the Imperial bloke being a twat to his family and being like, "Oh, I don't care if he's ill. He's a young boy. I don't care if he's ill. Thank you." And then, which is really funny and banterous. Well, not funny. It's a bit sad, but it shows what life the Empire have and how bloody mad they are. And yeah, I like how blonde lady and Asian lady, Sinta Kaz and Vel Sartha. I like how Vel, even though like Vel takes it deadly, deadly serious, and Sinta Kaz is like Vel's like really concerned with Sinta Kaz's safety. But she's sort of like deadly focused on the mission. While Sinta Kaz is like, mate, I'm just purely focused on the rebellion, which happens later on. She's like, camping on the planet the show takes place on, which is pretty cool. I like how someone actually does die in it. They shoot one of the Imperials who isn't listening to them. I like how I like how it all goes like they're like, quick, get all your shit together, get all the Imperial credits on here. I like how a lot of them die as well. It's a realistic mission, where shit goes wrong, people get shot.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that episode where they do the actual heist or whatever was one of my favorite episodes in the show for sure.
Yeah, it was dope.
Just the whole heist and how it was shot and the fact that it was happening, of course, on the same during that event that happens every I don't know, once in a lifetime, is it?
The Northern Lights spunk.
Yeah, it's called The Eye or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some great, like some fantastic cinematography, wasn't there, with the Northern Lights, yeah, and then the music and even just the end bit where they're escaping as well.
Yeah, when that
from
dude's
the
dying,
bomb.
he's like guiding it. When after he'd been crushed by the box, he was like, "Quick, go this way, that way, that way." It shows how he's next level passionate about the cause,
Yeah,
which is
I just
cool.
thought that sort of like ship to ship dogfight in the sky as well. I thought that was on another level, and with the visuals as well and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are 3 great episodes. I like the next arc as well, where he rolls up to the Miami planet. Well, he tries to get Marva to come, and Marva's like, "Fuck you, I'm not going." And then Cassian's like, "All right, then." Then he travels to Miami planet, and he's just chilling. And then it's not like something happens, and he gets into the rebellion, or he thinks, "Oh, I'm gonna join the rebellion now." No, he gets kidnapped by one of those big Imperial robots from Rogue One. And then he just gets fucked over for. I mean, the Empire are such bloody. Well, they're Marxists and fascists, really, because they're Marxists in the sense that they're like they wanna control absolutely everyone and everything. You people can't fucking run. How dare you run? But they're fascists in the sense that like they target Jedi specifically. We've got to wipe out every single Jedi. They're targeting specific Jedi. Well, they're targeting specific people, so no one else can stop them because they're scared of the Jedi. So yeah, I find it interesting. Well, not interesting, but like, they're very against freedom and they're very much like very controlling. And if anyone speaks up against them, they get thrown in prison. So yeah, You know what's even more crazy? They didn't. Well, he goes to prison, which I'm annoyed. It's not okay. It can't be helped, but like it's a bit annoying that none of those people who fucked him over specifically got their comeuppance. But I suppose he can't because he got thrown in prison. A random Carl said the show will age extremely well. Yeah, definitely, bro. But yeah, anyway, he gets thrown in prison, and Andy Serkis shows up, and I'm like, damn, that's really cool. And he's like, I'm the fucking manager here. Fuck you all. Oh, bloody fly. Oh, God, bastard. Oh, annoying bloody fly. I can't stand the little fly that fly around in your face. Pissed out, man. I thought they would have all been froze to death. What are they still doing? And if anything, why the bloody hell are they in my room? Bastards. Absolute bar stewards. But yeah, anyway. So yeah. He gets thrown in prison and they just work to death all the time. And I find it really interesting that the prison is very, very light and white and whatever. While most prisons are, black and red and dark and whatever. And I like how the bloke straight away, that arrogant prick at the start, is like, oh, well, you won't. Hopefully we won't need to fry you. We've got boots on and an arm, so fuck you. That was, he was annoying.
I was going to say, I don't know whether you noticed as well, but when like Andor and those other prisoners, that when they first arrive at the prison, one of those prison guards or whatever is the one who played Goyle in the Harry Potter films.
Who's Goyle?
Draco's two like friends.
Oh,
Goyle.
What was he, the fat one or the other friend?
Well, he was like, Goyle's the one who was like, well, originally in like the earlier films, he was taller than Crabbe. So you could argue he didn't look quite as fat.
Yeah, he's the fat one. Yeah. Crabbe. Wait, is he? No.
But of course, now he's since he's lost weight, so he's like slimmer now.
Oh bloody hell! It says he's been an MMA fighter too. Jeez.
Huh?
What a lad. Well, what's his real name? What's the actor? Whatever the actor's name is, get on the podcast. Josh Herdman, get on the fucking podcast and we'll have a UFC discussion. Thank you. But yeah. I didn't know he played one of the guards. Very interesting.
Yeah. I don't know whether anyone picked that up. I mean, I only watched Star Wars Theories Breakdown, but he didn't mention it. So I don't know. He's a big Harry Potter fan, but so I don't know whether anyone noticed it really.
I mean, if Daniel Radcliffe rolled up and went Expelliarmus, we'd notice him in it, and
oh yeah,
Emma Watson and well, Rupert Grint. But Rupert Grint has done nothing apart from Harry Potter and a few little things, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Which it's fair enough, but it seems a little bit odd to just do one massive thing as an actor, then be like, you know what, I'm fucking done. I'm not doing this shit anymore.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, if you look at all the shit he's done, it just says Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. And I guess there are some random films, but they're all whimsical films. They're all just like from. Okay, yeah, he has been in a fair few films, but it's all whimsical stuff or low level stuff. It's not really anything. Oh god, there's one called The House of Wax, Into the White, Snatch. Snatch, the TV show, not the film. It'd be very strange if a 10-year-old was in the Snatch film. Have you ever seen Snatch with Brad Pitt and the bloke, that British guy? I think, what's his name? I always forget his name. Is it Jason Statham?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Snatch. It's an amazing film, but it would be very strange because Rupert Grint would have been 10 at the time, wouldn't he? So it would have been strange for him to be in the film.
Yeah, he would have been like. Well, it came out 2000, didn't it? So he would have been like, 12 when it came out, but yeah, it would have been like probably 10 or 11 when they were filming it, if he was in it, yeah.
But yeah.
So it's this film, so it's a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But anyway, those 3 episodes were great. Really kicked off Andor to another level. Then the prison episodes, they were great fun. It's, pretty interesting how they're all kept as slaves, building shit constantly, working constantly, having to graft constantly. The prison guards are just people have gone mad and tried to escape, and they've been fried in the night. And it's, again, Kino doesn't just have a change of heart. He isn't suddenly like, I'm going to join your side, Cassian, hooray! He isn't like that. He's like, fuck, they fried 200 men and no one gets let free. Fuck. So it makes sense for him to flip a switch, and the escape's brilliant. His speech is phenomenal. Amazing. The escape itself, brilliant fun. Loved it. So much action. Again, it makes sense how they could pull this off because, like, there isn't many guards. It makes sense that there isn't many guards because, you know, the prison doesn't need many guards because the floors can fry people. This coat in the background is really distracting me. I'm just going to get rid of it. But yeah,
your
your
thoughts, a coat, is it? Oh, I thought it was a shadow.
No. Your thoughts, Liam?
Yeah, like I really liked the prison arc, you could say. Yeah, another strong arc. I guess as well with a few of the episodes, it really just like, even though for some I think it might have been a bit slow and boring. I don't know. I think it really just took its time and just showed you prison life and what it was like in there, and just I guess just sort of how like sort of routine and repetitivities. But yeah, it was some strong content, and at the same time, of course, while all the prison stuff's happening, it cuts back to Coruscant as well, doesn't it? With like the politics and Mon Mothma and sort of her family and like what she's having to do to sort of, I guess, fund the rebellion. And it's a bit sort of dodgy, but there's some sort of interesting stuff in there, like with that stuff. It's not always that thrilling with like what they're talking about, but and interesting, but it's cool to see Coruscant again, frankly, after like not having seen it in anything like in any sort of TV show or at least live action Star Wars project for a while. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think when Cyril talks to Daedra, you know, when they have that awkward tension when he's being weird. Is that? I'm trying to remember whether that happened while Andor was in the prison or not, or that was after. I'm not sure.
I think it's because it was when she like reinstated him, I think, or got him his job back or something. I don't know.
I was just wondering whether that happened while Andor was in the prison or not, or whether he got out of the prison at that point. I'm not sure, but might have been while he was in. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself, but I was gonna say when Andy Serkis was about to escape, and he was like, "I can't swim, bro." That was heartbreaking. I genuinely never felt so bad for a character because it's like the bloke knew that this is what was going to happen. You know, so maybe that's partly why he was such a managing jerk, because he was probably thinking to himself originally, because he was probably thinking to himself, like, even if by some miracle I escape, I can't swim. So, like, what am I going to do? And then he's like, bro, I can't swim. And then Andor doesn't get a goodbye. He just gets pushed off the edge because everyone's trying to escape.
Yeah.
So, and I hope they don't bring him back. I hope it's just safe to assume that he dies, that he got caught and gets killed or sent back to prison. And I feel like a character like that who's a manager in a prison, you can't fully escape anyway, because like it's sort of like his managerial duties are tied to that prison, and it's sort of like he's the gaffer. He helped everyone escape. He helped everyone leave that horrible. Well, it wasn't even a job. Leave that horrible place, but he can't leave himself, and it's just like, God, I feel genuinely. If they had just shot him, like say if someone had shot him and whatever, and he died, I would feel a bit bad. But it would have been like, oh, okay, he's dead. But like him being like, I can't swim, like fuck, that's so sad. But fair play, he helped everyone else escape.
Oh yeah, that brings me back to something that happened earlier on in that arc. With, of course, there was that episode with it might have been the episode before with the old man, and he was old. And
oh yeah, when he had a heart attack, yeah.
And then of course they discovered that, you know, after he died, because that doctor came in, didn't he, or whoever he was, that medic or whatever. But I think he just ends up just killing killing like whoever he's meant to be treating, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, well, that just really sort of reinforced how sort of messed up the Empire is, and the fact that that they didn't have the prisoners didn't have this many days till they were done, till they were free. That was never going to happen. They were just going to die in there, and then they'd be sent to like another level, wouldn't they, or something like that? Or at least that's what happened to one of the other prisoners who was meant to have been set free, I think. And then they said about and they said, didn't they? Was it because they found out, or one level found out that they killed that entire level of prisoners?
Yeah, they fried 200 people, I think.
Yeah, so it was. So I suppose you just think, damn, But
cold people, the Empire.
Yeah, but of course, that realization, the fact that they're never going to get out or be freed. Of course, it causes Andy Serkis's character to have a change of heart, doesn't it? And he thinks, so, well, stuff it, Let's do what let's do what you said,
Solid.
Andor. So yeah.
And the cool thing is as well, Serkis has been in Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Star Wars, Batman, King Kong, Marvel. He's been in everything.
Yeah. He has, yeah.
And he's been in other films, hasn't he? Like the bloody.
He's in the Planet of the Apes trilogy, wasn't he?
Oh, that's another franchise.
Yeah,
he does a good job in them, but he's also been in what's it called? The Prestige. He was in The Prestige. I'm 99% sure.
I haven't watched.
I think he played David Bowie's assistant in it. David Bowie was really good in The Prestige. I couldn't believe it.
David Bowie's in that.
Yeah.
Oh damn! And that's a Christopher Nolan film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know David Bowie was in any films in the noughties. I don't know, or something. So I know he was in that film called Labyrinth, wasn't he, in the 80s?
Yeah, he played the bad guy in it, didn't he?
Yeah. Don't think I watched all of that, but I watched some of it. I remember it was on TV on holiday the one year.
And he hadn't really been in that many. Well, he has been in some films, but they seem quite far apart. It seems like something he'd do in it. He was in Seven. Who the bloody hell did he play in Seven?
Seven.
Interesting. Yeah, he was in SpongeBob. If you remember the episode he was in, the Atlantis one. Yeah, he played the Atlantis man.
Oh wow. Atlantis man. Who's that then?
I can't remember his name. It couldn't have been Neptune because they've already made a different version of him in bloody in SpongeBob. They've got the movie version and they got the different version who's like who basically they got the movie version and the normal version. It's not coming up who David Bowie was in Seven. I'm a bit annoyed at that. I can't find it. It's very annoying.
I don't know. I've sort of watched. Well, I've watched all of Seven. I don't know. It's been on a few times on TV, so I've sort of watched it.
I didn't think it'd be your type of thing, to be honest.
Well, it was more so just because I was just. I don't know. I just wasn't doing much, and my mum was watching it, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe he passed away in 2016. What a sad day. Sad times. January 2016, man, that's just mad. Quite a shame, but there you go. I guess he did what he wanted to do, lived a cool life, and made some amazing music. But anyway, back to Andor. The final 3 episodes. Actually, I'll just touch on them on Mothma stuff. I originally did find it quite boring. I subjectively found it boring, but objectively, I think it's solid. Just because it shows all the tension. Like she's got to do so many secret things and get money done in secret, and having all these conversations with her husband, and everyone's against her. The taxi driver ratted her out, and there's just a lot of tension, and she's having to, get a daughter in an arranged marriage just to get a bit of money to the rebellion. You know, it's like, damn, there's a lot of tension, and also the stuff with Forrest Whitaker's character, Saul Guerrero in it.
Yeah, he
Um,
returned. Yeah,
it was cool, him and Luthen going back and forth, and him being like that, you know, them arguing and showing that the rebellion wasn't this perfect army that we see in the original trilogy. There's actually different factions, and they struggled to get together. They're not as organized as the Empire, so that was cool.
yeah, and Saul Guerrero, he was always well, yeah, I suppose he's always had an on-off relationship with the rebellion. You know, he's always sort of done his own thing and had his own soldiers, and but he's more sort of I suppose his approach is he's sort of more radical, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose, yeah. I suppose he's determined to go to more extreme lengths, I suppose, or yeah, I suppose, yeah. I mean, yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, the final 3 episodes, I guess they were pretty dope. They were pretty brilliant. I know this sounds mental, but at this moment in time, I can't really remember them. I remember the final episode really well, but the other two, what was like going on? I know they were trying to escape, and those fat aliens caught Andor and the other bloke. Then they leave. Then he's going back. Oh yeah, Bix gets interrogated. The fat Scottish guy and the Jobsworth guy, they fly to the planet, and everything's coming together. Marva dies, and you feel bad for B. And then she comes on, that big hologram, and she's like, "You're gonna have to beat the fucking shit out of the Empire," and everyone's like, "Ah!" Which is brilliant. And then
Yeah,
Cyril says,
I really liked that finale, to be fair, and
"Yeah,
how it was like. I liked how it was like it was a slow build up, you know.
true."
Yeah, I did like how that was paced. But yeah, like you say, the speech that with Marvin, that was a long speech, and then yeah, she's like, you know, to hell with the Empire, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then they just have a battle, don't they? And it's quite
They go Kelly ho,
yeah,
which was really
it's
cool.
quite sort of gritty, isn't it? And it's quite a
Mm-hmm.
gritty and grounded and sort of realistic battle, and it's yeah, interesting. And you see the Imperials just getting walloped, and of course the big guy who's part of that big guy is friends with Andor. Like he gets that brick or whatever it's meant to be. Isn't it meant to have Marva's ashes in or something? And he absolutely smacks that Imperial. I don't know what that Imperial's rank was or whatever, but smacks the Imperial with the brick or whatever, doesn't he? I think. But yeah, that was quite. That was a good battle as well, though. And then Dedra was getting knocked about too, and dragged around and whatever.
Yeah, top bands. And he saved her as well. Cyril Khan saved her.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then we get a very, very awkward scene.
Yeah,
Yes. What's
very.
going to happen there?
I don't know what will happen with them in series 2. I don't know if they want to make some odd cringe romance. I'm not sure. They can do what they want. I wouldn't mind if it was some odd cringe romance. I guess it would be funny, but I sort of find myself just being like, let's go. I'd honestly rather. I prefer Anakin and Padme's romance, if I'm going to be honest. Like, he's not as objectively bad as that, but it's just sort of like, it's cringy. It's really cringy to watch. Why is he obsessing over this lady? I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal in her at all. She's just horrible.
I don't know. It is a bit random. I don't know. I suppose in a weird way, it's kind of that's kind of weird, but yeah, it's kind of in a weird way, it's sort of interesting to see, but
Yeah, in a cringy way.
yeah, but yeah, but again, there's probably no need for it to be there story wise, but
I guess it just gives Cyril something to do, doesn't it?
I suppose he does have stuff to do, but I do think he's a captivating character.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like he's relatable.
Also,
What?
someone stole some
No, I
items at
don't
your
mean.
shop. He'd go, "I'm coming after you,"
No, I
and
don't
then
mean some
chase
of
them to
like.
the end of the.
I don't mean like some like.
Someone steals a few pens from Liam's shop. He follows them to the end of the earth and says, "Give them back now, or I'll arrest you." I mean, that's
Yeah, I
brilliant.
don't. Not stuff like that. And when he was sort of being, I don't know, when he was sort of being a bit annoying, you know, being an idiot with his power or whatever in the first three
Hmm.
episodes. But I just mean, I guess like he has to sort of move back in with his mom, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And uh, I guess just the way he sort of, I don't know, maybe the way he sort of acts as well. I don't know. He sort of comes across as quite awkward. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of what
I
else to
think
say, but I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah,
It makes him very interesting, but he's sort of. I understand like relating to awkwardness and stuff, and everyone has their awkward moments. But he's an arsehole, like he's such a
yeah,
pillock. If he was a good guy, I'd be like, damn, that is relatable. Because he's an idiot, you just think, well, I'm not bothered. But I get it makes his character interesting, definitely.
yeah. And aside from that, like it's not just that potential relatability that makes him captivating either. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I guess, the character himself, um, and like you said, he's a different sort of villain. He's like a more sort of pathetic villain, but he's still, I don't know. I still think he's like a well written one.
Hmm.
Yeah, in a sense. Even though I guess after like the first, I don't know, I guess the first three episodes, he doesn't have as much to do, but you know,
True.
he still like affects certain events in the story here and there. So
Hmm.
it's
But
good.
I was gonna say a couple. Oh yeah, I really love Luthen's speech to that one bloke who he keeps getting involved in all this shit, and he's like, "Let me go for God's sake." He's like, "We need heroes like you to look up to," which was really cool.
Well, it was interesting to find out that Imperial, who's part of the ISB, was a mole as well. He was actually like he's sort of like with the rebellion, isn't he?
Yeah,
So he's like a mole in the ISB. So that was interesting to find out because we didn't know that, did we?
yeah. Luthen.
So,
At least there's an explanation why Luthen knows everything about Cassian. It's because he's got everyone everywhere. But it does seem a bit odd how he
mm,
couldn't hunt down and kill Cassian when he's got everyone everywhere. It's like, bro, you knew everything about him and all that. Yet you weren't able to hunt him down and kill him. You a bit inconsistent. He didn't even get close to hunting him down. He was kind of close, but he was pottering around the bloody town for like 50 years till he found him. Well, he didn't
mm,
find him actually. He sort of just legged it. He just sort of thought, yeah, leave them to it. But yeah, he was. Luthen's got to be my favourite character. I think Cassian's probably second. He's definitely objectively the best just because he carries the plot. But I feel like he doesn't. Diego Luna does a good job, but Cassian's emotions, it's sort of just like he doesn't. I don't know. Like I'll use
mm.
Marva's death for an example. Like he spoke to his friend. He said, I wasn't there for her. I can't believe it. I wasn't there for her." And it's like, bro, this is your mom. You're not even like slightly upset. You just sort of like I didn't understand. I just sort of thought he just seemed a bit inhuman in that scene, and just in general, he just sort of either gets annoyed or is emotionless. I'm not saying that's all his characters, but that's sort of the extent to his acting, how he acts in the show, or he sometimes gets a bit panicked. He doesn't. There isn't ever any strong emotions towards him, so you're not really going to have any like mad strong like attachments to him because like he just seems a bit like he just sort of like the journey he goes on is interesting, but he doesn't. Diego Luna doesn't really emote much. He just sort of seems like very like this, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
And I guess, as we said before, sometimes the show can be a bit slow. Yeah, but apart from that, it absolutely rocks. I've loved it. Nine
Mm.
point five out of 10. Absolutely love it. Amazing. Best Star Wars show in my opinion. I think I gave The Mandalorian a 10 a few years ago, but I shouldn't have done. I was wrong. This is better. Love it.
I don't know what would I give it. I think I'll probably give it a 9 out of 10. To be fair, yeah, because like even though, like you said, it's sort of it is slow at times. It can be boring at times, but I still think it's pretty well paced, and it benefits from having more episodes because, of course, a lot of recent shows, whether it be Marvel or Star Wars, like with Kenobi and Book of Boba and whatever, that they had too few episodes. I think they didn't have enough, whereas Andor did, and it allowed it to take more time to tell the story and not feel rushed and yeah, like I've said to you, it just feels like this has been in production, has been worked on for longer than say Kenobi. Yeah, you can tell with the production value, the cinematography, the soundtrack, the acting. It's all it's top notch stuff, really. I mean, of course, it is. It's different for Star Wars, and I think a lot of people maybe don't think it's quite Star Wars, or it's sort of quite a different take. But now it's definitely used the budget well, and even the CGI and everything looks just way better, like for a TV show than say Kenobi did. Doesn't look fan filmy at all, and again, just like loads of fantastic cinematography as well. Loads,
I'm glad there wasn't too much fan service in there as well.
I was going to say, yeah.
I didn't even realise Mon Mothma was like Mon Mothma till I thought she looks a lot like the lady from Return of the Jedi in the ship, in the Nebulon B frigate or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, she was in Return of the Jedi with that other actress, and then she was going to be in Revenge of the Sith, but obviously she was cut from the film because she was in a few deleted scenes or whatever, or one deleted scene. So that's where like this actress first popped up, and then of course she got to be in Rogue One.
She was in Revenge of the Sith. This specific actress.
Well, yeah, she I suppose she originally was, but she was cut because she was in a deleted scene or two. But then she got to be in Rogue One, so yeah, she got to be in Rogue One, and then now she's in this, so she's getting she's getting her screen time, which she deserves. Yeah.
Respect, man. But yeah, I was going to ask before we end this then. Before I ask if there's any closing thoughts or anything you want to say, what do you think of all the Star Wars memes? Like, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, and do it, do it, do it. I am the Senate power, and hello there, and I hate you, and if you're not with me, you're my enemy, and all that jazz. What do you think?
Or do you mean like? Because I just think all that stuff is entertaining, and a lot, and I like it and whatever. But
like so do you think it's entertaining in a memey way, or do you think it's genuinely entertaining, or both, maybe? Or
I guess both. I guess I suppose, or for some of it in a memey way.
Nah, I think Sidious, his overacting is more funny than like entertaining. Like he acts it really well, but I mean in those specific scenes where he's like, do it, do it, do it. Like, like the way he acted in Revenge of the Sith was really good. Like how he used Anakin, manipulated Anakin to join the dark side and make him be like, yeah, I've got everything you want. I can save the one you love. While the Jedi are just absolute idiots to him. Like, genuinely, the Jedi are morons. Oh, I'm not even going to lie. They're absolute buffoons. Like, they're like, oh, you are young Skywalker, you have a seat on the council, but you will not get the rank of master. And it's like, fuck off, like, only if I was Anakin, I genuinely would say, you know what, I don't give a shit about this shit organisation anymore, mate. You know what, this is the biggest pile of shite ever. This Palpatine bloke who who's blatantly the Sith Lord, who you all keep missing. He's treating me better than all of you bozos. I'm just leaving Coruscant. I'm going away. That would have been a really brilliant ending for Anakin instead of getting burnt to death and not knowing his kids and his wife dying and getting his legs cut off by his master. And I mean, oh god, if only the Jedi were just a bit more human.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the Clone Wars show and Tales of the Jedi and some of the books I guess we've had in the new canon have exposed the flaws of the Jedi as well.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, keepers of the peace, keepers of the peace, and it's like, I'm not being funny, but like when they kidnapped that senator's son, they were like, Dooku was bang on the money to stick with the villagers because at the end of the day, they didn't beat up the senator's son, they didn't hurt him. They're just like, bro, we're absolutely broke-ass. We're broke-asses. Like, why haven't you? We're dying out here, man. You know, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna fire on you all, and it's like, oh. And then how that senator died, and then all the royal guards fucking everything up, and oh god, and then it's just like they're just like keepers of the peace for the Senate, but it's like the Jedi should actually have their own opinions and do their own things instead of just being like, oh, keepers of the peace. It's just nonsense. I don't know what peace they're keeping, but it's bloody, they're losing it, man. They're bloody idiots because that's why everyone turns on them. Because they're not allowed to show any emotion. They have to be completely selfless, quote unquote. But their definition of selfless is not giving a shit about anything. Like when Anakin went to Yoda in Revenge of the Sith, he was like, death is a natural part of life. Don't fear losing the one you love. Well, that's the shittest advice ever, you idiot! That's such rubbish. That's like, I'm having premonitions of someone dying. What can I do to stop that? Oh, just accept it. Stop caring, you idiot. Go away. It's like, oh, that's the best advice ever, you bloody moron. That's why Yoda, if Yoda had just been a bit smart and reassured him and said, look, we'll do our best to protect Padme, but, you know, if you want to make your premonitions not happen, you've got to try and make the right decisions and be a good person, you know. That would have been far better advice instead of just telling him, oh, just accept it. That is why Anakin went mad, because no one was reassuring him. Jedi, man, fucking stupid. Honestly, but it is. I guess it is. It does make it interesting. I think their stupidity was like intentional. I'd like to think George Lucas wasn't just like making them like. I wouldn't like to think George Lucas just made them like that, and that's that. I think that they're intentionally meant to be flawed. George has put new Transformers. I don't care. But I guess Indiana Jones trailer, I might check that out. But Transformers, no, I'm not bothered. The 50 millionth Transformer film, I'm just, no, who cares?
This one actually isn't directed by Michael Bay.
I'm shocked at that one. Have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. I found out about it earlier, which surprised me. But and then I checked. I sort of like looked it up on Google as well after seeing it, and YouTube after seeing video reaction or whatever it was, just to check it was real. Because sometimes you just have these fan-made trailers, don't you, that people make? But apparently it is. Apparently it's coming out next year. But no, I haven't watched the trailer. Didn't realise Indiana Jones 5 trailers dropped though.
Mm-hmm.
But well, not sure that's going to turn out though.
Harrison Ford hobbling around. I actually do have. I did have some insider info like weeks and weeks ago about it.
Insider info.
Yeah.
Who do you know?
I'll tell you after the podcast. But from what I know about it, it's Harrison Ford is doing a fair amount in the film, and there isn't much CGI. But I can't remember what the person told me that well. I'll have to ask them again, and then we can. Well, if the trailer's out, there's no. If the trailer is actually out, then there's no bloody. Then it isn't inside. Indiana Jones. Let's look it up. Yeah, it's out. Never mind. There's no point in being like, oh, insider info. I was just going to say Harrison Ford apparently does do a lot, but again, if it's out already, then it can be easily disproven. That I'll tell you after. Basically, I'll let you know after the podcast the minor stuff I had, but I can't even remember it that well. To be honest, I wish I could have done, but it's irrelevant now because the trailer's out, so I might as well watch that after this. Any closing thoughts, Liam? Any final message? Wait, the fifth one looks good. I doubt. Maybe Indiana Jones does, but I doubt Transformers does. None of the Transformers have been any good.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's on about Indiana Jones, yeah. Because like the fifth Transformers film's technically The Last Night, isn't it? Which is the last one.
There was a fifth. Oh, yeah.
But that
So
one
this
was
is the
like
sixth
really
time.
long again, and I watched that one as well, and it just no, not good.
Well, any final messages then, or
Not really. Just just thanks for having me again, and good chat about Andor, and looking forward to the next podcast whenever that'll be.
cool. Yeah, check out the gaming channel, subscribe to the gaming channel. That's all I've got to say for today. Take care all. Peace out. Laters.
So yeah.